so freaking for today's shopping event. This is the first of many I want it to be locked into our memory of how sacred the buying process gets to be, how tender it gets to be, how fun it gets to be, how we can shift the self-development market from being from a space of lack and like something and making it something we desire, something that turns us on, something that lights us up. So as you're coming on, let me know if you're coming in live, where you're coming in from, how you're feeling today, what's coming up for you. If you're new here, if you're an old fan, let me know, or if you are watching the replay. I love when I can see you guys and tap in here, answer questions, and really just expand and grow and do things that are beautiful. If you are new here, I am so happy. I know this community has been growing so much over the last two-ish months since we made the full transition into trauma and relationships. And so, hi, my name is Laura Patricia Martin. I am a trauma specialist, relationship expert, healer, speaker, all the kind of things. Really creating a space here on the internet and in real life and in our podcast and in our platforms where you feel understood, you feel seen, you feel like people really get you. Because I know when I was on my healing journey, when I was on my trauma journey, when I was on my relationship after trauma journey, it felt alone. It felt like I couldn't speak it to anyone, or people couldn't understand, or people kept giving unsolicited advice. And it was just this journey of, what am I doing? And am I doing this right? And will I feel okay again? And will I be turned on again? And will there be joy and delight? And will I stop being so reactive? Like, when can I breathe? Basically. That's what our space is here. We really slay the shame. And so I'm happy that you're here. If you know anyone this would vibe with, invite them. That's how we start conversations. That's how we make this an intimate space. That's how we grow this little, I like to call it like a little speakeasy on the internet. It's like word of mouth, and you have to know the secret codes to get in, or someone that knows where it's at to get into. And so today's event is all around talking about the magic that we have inside of our summer, where I really want to shift how we do sales entirely to a space that it like turns you on. And when we're doing self-development, what I see and what I've done one too many times is I have bought from a space of, if I don't get this, then I will fail. Then I don't know. And then I'd get through a program, or I like wouldn't complete a program and I wouldn't like it and I would feel crunchy, and I don't want that to be like this. So in this event, it's going to be fun. It's going to be playful. I'm going to be explaining things, whether you're from the Becoming That Bitch masterclass and you want to see what we're about, whether you're new in our community and you're like, I just want to be expanded and I want to learn and I see her vibe and I want to know what's going on, or whether you're a client of mine or you're in one of my communities already, or you've jumped into the bundles already and you've just wanted to get a nice little afternoon pick me up, whatever brought you here, just trust that it landed you here at whatever time that it landed you in. And God, universe, source does not make any mistakes, and so if you're here, there's a reason for it. And I'm just so thankful, because the one thing that we cannot get back in our life is time. And so to land in a space and to get someone's energy and to play in that vibe, it's such a vibe. And I want sales to be a party, right? Like, I have learned over my course in the last 2 years, I would say, of one, shopping gets to be a pleasurable experience, and I'll give you a story on that, but also like self-development and courses and programs and mentorships and all these kind of things, like it gets to be fun, and it gets to be from a space of abundance, and it gets to be an extension of us, and it gets to be, oh my God, like I want this, like what is this energy, what is this big thing, what is the way she shows up, like I want it, not I need it. Because when we need something, it's like, have you ever felt like when you're at the store and you're shopping and you're like, okay, and like the salesperson is just like really pushy, like, you need this, You need it or you will never get laid again in your life. And you're like, okay, got it. And you never take it out of your closet. You've never worn it. The tag is still on it. You're like, that was a silly purchase. And then you can think of a time when you're like, you try it on. No one had to sell you on it. You just put it on and you're like, oh, this is an extension of my soul. This is perfectly for me. I don't need it. I want it. I want it because it makes me more of me. And it helps invite, that's literally, there's this outfit here that I have next to me. That, like, that's like the only clothing that I buy now is like, oh my God, does this light me up and make me feel more of myself? Instead of this pushy thing of, I need to go shopping and therefore this is my therapy. And, then I'm having buyer's remorse and buyer's guilt. Before I even walk out of the place, like I'm giving my credit card, I'm like, I should not be buying this. That's not a good feeling, right? When we have, like, I just had a woman who jumped into the summer bundle and she's like, sent me a picture of her like dancing and drinking her champagne. And she's like, I feel so good. And that's how I want this to be. That's how it should be, right? Because when we go in and we don't have to be sold to, right? Like this is the point of tapping into your pleasure. And this is a big part of regulating our nervous system and feeling embodied and feeling inspired and regulated within the process. Because if you've ever walked into, like my favorite nail salon, when they have new designs and new colors and new things and new types of doing nails that like inflation hit them or something hit them, or they have this new offer, or they have this new pedicure, like it's on offer for me to lead myself to wanting to do that or not. If it fits or if it doesn't. I don't have to be pushed. Or if you walk into like your favorite store, like they know what they have on offer. It's not about like, oh my God, if you don't buy this, this is going to be gone. They're like very honest with you. Like, oh, this is going very quick. Like if you want it, I would highly recommend getting it, but cool if not. And then you walk into the store and people will be like, hey, do you need help? And you're like, yeah, actually I do. Like I do. This is the event that I'm going to. I'm going on this really sexy day right now and I want some sexy little lingerie. Like, can you help me with that? And they're like, yeah, perfect. I have the best thing for you. And they'll help guide you to that sale. And they're not selling to you, they're helping you, right? Like that's what me and my team do. And then there's other situations where you're like, no, actually, I'm just perusing. I'm trying to see what you got on offer here. And I just, I like your vibe. So I just kind of want to peruse around and I see your crystals and I love your music and I love the vibe and I want to check it out. Like that's how it gets to be. So breathe in these spaces. Know that it gets to be safe and fun and regulated and joyful. And it's just a portal and you're going to see so many more of these as we jump in. And like today, it's fun, right? Like I have 9 things I'm going to be sharing with you that we have on offer right now. Where most people, I could feel chaotic, like, oh my God, I have so much. But I trust you. I trust your power, your personal power, your knowledge, your growth, the portals of activation, what you're going to find, what you want to step into, what's going to activate you, what's going to, like, I love the questions that I've been getting in my DMs lately of like, what is going to expand my nervous system that you have? I'm like, well, where are you at and where do you want to go? Like having that kind of mindset when it comes to this is so fun. Right? So we're going to be talking about this, and this is just proof that like anything we do gets to be pleasurable. We can often feel like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. There's a lot. There's this healing stuff I got to do. There's this household stuff I got to do. There's this work stuff I got to do. There's this side hustle thing I got to do. There's, dating that I got to now do. There's the kids that I got to do. And oh my God, there's so much. I'm overwhelmed. But when we can phrase that into, I have an abundance of expansion that's happening right now. And where can I bring pleasure into this? Where can I bring fun? Where can I bring delight? Can I pour myself, like if you guys see my setup right now, I made beautiful coffee. I mean, it's not beautiful. It's my dad's mug. I have glass ones. They're really cute. I have my like water in a wine glass. I have my candles lit up, setting the vibe, setting the tone, making it feel absolutely amazing. Like you're walking into your favorite shop. You're walking in, doing the favorite, setting things up in a pleasurable way. Like that's how life gets to be. You have an abundance of things. You have an abundance of time. Especially when it's like, oh, I want to do these things, but it's like the summer and I have all this kind of stuff going on and, school starting here and work starting here and I'm starting here and there's all these kind of things. And it's like, ooh, I get you and it's so valid. And if we can play with that story of, I have an abundance. I have an abundance of time. I have an abundance of expansion. I have an abundance of connections. I have an abundance of opportunities that I get to step into. And so as I'm going through this, trust. Trust that there's an abundance. It is perfectly timed. It is perfectly aligned with what it needs to be for you. So if you're ready, let me know. How are we feeling? How's it going? How's everything? And I'm going to talk to you about my favorite one right now. Everything's my favorite, but I'm so excited about this one. So what's happening in August is unattached. And so this program is going to be 2 weeks long. And we are going to have 4 to 6 modules around attachment styles. And so the reason this came to me is the questions I get asked so often is, how do I get them to be more vulnerable? Or how do I help my partner that's attached avoidant or attached anxious? Or how do I myself become more secure? So we touched on this inside Becoming That Bitch, and if you jump into the summer bundle, you get Becoming That Bitch, or you can watch the replay. I'll talk about that one again to tap into. But unattached, we're transitioning from anxious and avoidant, or a mix of the two, into secure. I myself have walked this path. I was historically attached anxious, so much so that because of my trauma bonding and my codependency, it led me into a hospital because I wouldn't get out of the way. I wouldn't it was this attack. Like, I couldn't breathe if people left me during a fight. I couldn't breathe. And it led to domestic violence, and it led to a whole bunch of things. And so I've walked this pattern, and it has been such a long time in the making of creating this program for you guys to step into, because I know how heavy it can feel, how constrictive it can feel when we have attachment styles that start to hinder our everyday life, right? And so what I'm walking you through is the embodiment codes around that. So like I said, that's 4 to 6 weeks, or 4 to 6 modules, 2 weeks. That will be happening. Our first kickoff call will be August 8th. You'll have lifetime access to these. You'll be walking through all of it, the regulation tools. And the reason to do it in this moment is there's never the most opportune time to look at our attachment styles. There's never like, oh, it's that space in the summertime where I thought everything was going to be calm and regulated and I'd be able to take things into my own hands and do these things and take the space and watch these things, and that never actually comes. And so, when I look at when I was looking at my attachment styles and wanting to change things, it was the most inopportune time. I was running 3 businesses. I was studying. I was healing addictions in various degrees and claimed it to be as such. Like, there is so much power within you. Imagine what it would feel like, right? To be in a relationship and not feel burdened by their reactions, not feeling burdened how they respond. Like, you are so unattached to the outcome. I'm actually going to be sharing a post on this today because I got so many DMs around what I shared over on my Instagram about how my ex-partner, came to me and said, hey, I want to break up because I want to be with Latin women. And I got so many DMs from a lot of you around irritation and anger, and he could have said this, and he should have said this, and it's just, I wish he had more respect, and I wish he all these narratives. But the counter to that is that I get also a lot of DMs and voice notes and on my VIP calls around, how do I get them to be more vulnerable? How do I get them to share their heart? How can I stop guessing? How can I help my partner who's anxious or avoidant? How can I get them to open up to me and tell me what's really going on instead of freaking out and all the kind of thing? And the truth is that to have the depth and the fullness of relationships that we deeply desire, we deeply seek, we have to be able to hold the counter. And that doesn't mean that just because they give us the deepest vulnerability, that it's going to be exactly what we want to hear. But because the unattached woman is unattached to outcomes, she can hold that. And so, yes, of course, when he first came to me, my heart cracked. But also, it's a huge victory for both of us. He historically is attached avoidant. I'm historically attached anxious, but I've done the work. I've done the practices that I'm teaching you in these modules, in this program, that when I am securely attached, when I'm a living sanctuary, he feels safe enough to come to me and say that, which helps us not continue to pass along trauma, which is a huge thing in relationships, right? How do we become a living sanctuary so that, although it may not be the thing that we want to hear, you're now the safest place for people to land, and therefore they can come to you in honest vulnerability. And that just shows that I'm on the right track, so that my husband can come to me and tell me when things are happening in a certain way and when we need to communicate things and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's a continuous practice and evolution and growth over a lifetime. And so I'm going to be sharing with you those practices inside of this masterclass, inside of this program. This is not a masterclass. Masterclass are usually 1 to 3 modules. This is going to be 2 weeks, my dears. And so if you're interested in joining up for right now until the 28th of July, that's going to be $111, which is bananas because it's going to be $444. So you're getting it for like, I don't know math right now, but that's going to be like 70-ish% off. And so that's going to be until the 28th. Okay. That's after I announce it. Like I said, you guys are getting all the super ridiculously pre-launch, pre-early bird, whatever the fuck it's actually called, inside deals in this thing. That's why I love shopping these events. I'm so happy you do them. Okay, so that's going to be the first one. So that's going to be $111. You can buy that. And then that'll be continually going up as more details are announced into the public. But you guys just got the cheeky little details. And so we're going to be talking about, the welcome calls, getting ourselves regulated, getting ourselves into the nice little states, setting up the goals, setting up the intentions, doing that whole thing. And then we're going to be moving through the process of attached anxious, attached avoidant, attached secure, and putting those all together so that you can become the match of becoming securely attached, which will invite more securely attached people. Because here's the thing. As we get older, more people have more trauma. More people also statistically are attached avoidant because they're not married. The ones that are secure, usually married or in partnerships, long-committed partnerships. So as we're going through life and we're navigating these things, that's just what we got to work with. So instead of being angry at the fact that this is a thing, we sit there and we go, okay, so what can I do about me? How can I become a safe place for others to land, to change that narrative? Because just because our nervous system says this is what we are and this is how we respond and this is based on our life experience, how things go, your nervous system is like plastic. It will stay that way unless we apply heat and we mold it. So you get to change that. So that's $111. That's going to be going up after the 28th. All these prices will be going up the 28th when I start to announce more details. And so the second, how does that feel to you guys? I'm so excited about it. Honestly, the work inside of there is what has changed all of my relationships. Even my friendships. Because I was attached anxious with my friendships. Like, I was that kind of girl that if you were on this side of the bar and you moved to this side of the bar, I used to freak out. So now, I go out all the time by myself. Like, I prefer it. I travel by myself. Like, this stuff has revolutionized the way that I do my life. So, the next thing we have on offer, Sacred Single Eyes. Which, if you guys, this program, I'm like tearing up, honestly, because this program has held me. If you've seen my quantum healing, which oftentimes if you are in the spiritual world or in the self-development world, we talk about quantum leaps in business. Here's a financial goal, all of a sudden we're here, right? But this goes with healing too. As soon as I launched this program, my relationship ended. That conversation that I just shared with you happened. Literally, I think it was like 2 days after I launched it. And the universe doesn't make any mistakes. because that program held me through the whole thing. And you guys have been here. If you guys are new to my world, go just like scroll my feed. But walking through that program has changed my life because it reminded me who the fuck I am. The women that walked through it, it's not that they were single. Like, there was married women in there. There were people that have been dealing with trauma for a while and looking to get out of it. There are women that had been fresh out of breakups. There are women that were fresh in relationships, like long-term marriages. Like, the women that walked in that program had the mission of finding themselves again, finding their interdependence, not the wounded feminine that we see nowadays, where it's like, I got it on my own. I built up these walls of protection because I've been burned so many times, but yet I'm craving this intimacy. I'm craving this connection. I'm craving being seen. I'm craving being told that I'm lovable, and I'm feeling in that way. But I've built up these walls because I can't get hurt again, because when I got hurt last, that broke me. Your interdependence and your singlehood and your independence is so sacred. It's so beautiful. It's so... If I could put how my heart feels and put it into a bottle, like, I have chills even speaking about this, and put it into a bottle for you so you could feel it. That a love story for the ages is inevitable. A new one for me, but for the women in my community that are married, a new one within the context of their relationship as well. A love story for the ages that isn't waiting for someone else to come to choose you or to make you feel safe or them to take you on the dates. It's releasing these notions of what we thought. It's what Disney painted for us. It's like, there's a really good book called like Cinderella's Bullshit or something, which just how your life is within your control, and everything gets to be pleasurable, and everything gets to be sacred. And there's such a healthy way of understanding our emotions, understanding our regulation tools, understanding our trauma, our heartbreak. And maybe trauma doesn't vibe with you, but sources of activation, repeated patterns that keep coming up in your life. And when we get stuck inside those patterns is when we're like, what is going on? What's wrong with me? And we start to believe that we're broken. And like, what would it feel in your life to know that you are not broken? You're just responding to old nervous system patterns. And when we can release that in such a sacred way, singlehood isn't something that we fear because of societal projection. It's something that we're like, actually, my love is a choice, and who I get to share that with is a choice. And I'm not just going to surrender because I'm going to embody my power, because this is who I am. I seek pleasure and I let it lead me. My stories of my past no longer intrude into my present, but my ego, my truth leads me to the love story of the ages. And that love story of the ages starts with myself. So I'm walking you through how to release this trauma, these heartbreaks, these mean girls from high school, our parents' projections, our dysregulated state, and really using the science and the soul to talk about healing in a way that I've never seen done. In a way that allows 4 months to go by where my heart was ripped out. And I've never felt more me. And I've never felt more honored to walk in this work and to be with the women that have walked through this work, and to have the sensuality and the sexuality and the self-expression, and to know that you get to be a living sanctuary. And I'm going to say that 1,000 times until it becomes a t-shirt. You get to be a living sanctuary. It's a choice you get to make every single day. Like when you wake up in the morning and like, are you ready to have the best day of your life? Are you ready to be a living sanctuary? Who can you meet today? What if they change your life? And it gets to be fun and joyful and free, and it doesn't have to feel like the pressure of all these norms. It's like this permission slip you give yourself. That's what we're walking through inside of Sacred Singlehood. And so this program is a 4-week program with 6 to 8 modules that go through certainty and uncertainty, self-worth and self-value, acceptance, releasing anger, sacred self-acceptance, sacred forgiveness. Like, there's so many different pillars that have shifted my life, my clients' lives, their families' life, my family's lives, because it's so much more than you. It's that domino effect for me, for you, for us, right? We do things selfishly. I'll take this program because I want to feel good. And we want this outcome. Like, I want the love of my life. Like, especially when we're sitting in that context. And the reason I share with you about the women that are freshly in relationships, or the women that are married and transitioning their marriages, and also the ones that are freshly broken up, is this program isn't just for people that are single. Because I get that that can be a big fear. I don't want to stay single. This is actually about becoming the relaxed woman, the relaxed feminine, the tender heart, the things that we often misconstrued as weak, or, you know, when we think of feminine, we often think like, oh, that's weak. The emotional one, the weak one, the soft one, the vulnerable one. When that is such a rarity and such a strength to walk with. That is such the beauty of embarking on and waking that up. Like, it's so rare to find and be the relaxed woman. Because we live in a world where it's very hustle culture, very dominated, where it's like, oh, like, I'm feminine, I'm a female, but I'm also taking on these masculine traits, and I built up these walls of protection to do and be, and I can pay for my own things, and I can do my own stuff, and I'm totally fine being single, and I'm going to protect myself because fuck you, men have hurt my heart, women have hurt my heart, people have hurt my heart, da-da-da-da, whatever it is. It's very masculine protection. But to be relaxed, to be tender, to be soft. What would that feel like? What would that feel like to come out of summer and, like, by the time you get to the holiday season, everyone's like, wow, it's so nice to be around you now. How are you? You're so relaxed. You feel so good. What's this light that's happening? What have you been doing? What have you been taking? Like Sacred Singlehood, baby. That's what we're doing. That's the energy inside of this. And so that program is usually $100 or $1,111. It's for a figure offer. Right now, because I'm a psychopath, it's going to be $444 until the 28th. Because I think everyone needs it. I know everyone needs it. And so again, over 70% off is what we're doing here inside of this whole shopping with me thing. So that one is going to be happening the end of August, and it's going to be 4 weeks long. And then this leads to the offer that we can get on top of that, which is the Dating Micromind. My friends, I know some of you jumped in from the Becoming That Bitch masterclass. A Micromind is a quick burst mastermind. So in this, it's a Voxer mastermind. So this is going to be inside of Voxer. So it doesn't matter the time, it doesn't matter the place, it doesn't matter the schedule. It's a walkie-talkie app. So you get to jump in. For 30 days, we're going to be going through a series of prompts, a series of me coming in, checking in. You get me as your coach in your pocket for 30 days. This I love to pair with programs. So whether it is you're doing the unattached master program, or you're doing Sacred Singlehood, or you're doing both because you're going to jump into the summer bundle, or you're from Becoming That Bitch masterclass, this comparts onto all of those. It's going to be starting again in the middle of August, and it's going to be a 30-day thing. So the thing about masterminds and microminds is, one, you get the personalized support, so you get me, and there's no like set schedule. So I know time is a big construct for a lot of us, where it's like, well, what if I can't fit it into my schedule? And it's like, It's a rolling thing you can do in the car, on your walk, at the gym, with your kids, wherever. And being in a group setting is how self-regulation occurs. The way we learn how to self-regulate is through co-regulation. That's how we learned from our parents. That's how we can continue to go. That's why healing is not a thing that I really recommend doing alone. So when we're in a group setting, one, you get to ask your questions personalized to you, and two, you're going to hear people ask questions that you didn't even know you had. This is why I pay so much money for my own masterminds. Because there are questions, there are roadblocks that I've had, there's worries that I've had, there's self-inquiry, there's self-confidence issues, there's activating my voice, there's dating, there's love, there's a whole bunch of things that aren't even always business related within masterminds that happen. But I wanted to make something that is centralized to just dating. Because I know a lot of women, we are in year 6, numerology, it's either marriage or divorce. That's what we're going through right now. So a lot of breakups are happening. So how do I get back and start dating again? Especially after trauma, especially after life events. How do I open my heart again? How do I, I got activated on this date, or I went on this date and they said this, and now what? And I'm feeling this way. And like, you're in the bathroom and you're like, what do I do? Like, that's the cool thing about this is it's on the, I mean, there's office hours. I'm not going to be in there all hours of the day. But if it's not me, it's going to be someone else that can also help activate you and walk through their life experience through this as well. That's also the cool thing. It's not just me answering questions. Like, you get to come in and, coach and give your life experience as well, because we can all learn from each other. I learn from my mastermind clients as well. And so this one's focused on specifically dating. So anyone that is currently dating, looking to start dating, looking to heal your heart after dating, looking to start dating your spouse again, and up, is that a thing? Up your love life again. That's what this micromind is for. Like I said, it pairs perfectly with another masterclass or another program. I need to stop calling them masterclasses. It pairs perfectly with another program, because you get to take what you learned in that program and say, hey, Laura, I was applying this. I'm out on my self date. This guy's making googly eyes at me. Like, how do I approach this and have a conversation? Or like, this cycle keeps happening in my relationship patterning. What does this mean about my nervous system? How can I regulate this? How can I shift out of it? Like, we get to play within that for 30 days. So that will be happening in the middle of August, after the Sacred Singlehood begins, so that they can kind of go together. So you can either just get the dating micromind on its own, or you can put it all together in a nice little bow. And again, I am being a crazy person, and if you want to jump in on the summer bundle now until the 28th of July, I will include the dating micromind into the purchase of the summer bundle. So in the summer bundle, you would get Unattached, Sacred Singlehood, Becoming That Bitch, and the dating micromind. 4 things, which is usually, I think, like $1,700 for $777. And we have sexy payment plans available, because I know a lot of you have reached out to me saying, hey, I want to get in. I want to expand my nervous system. What does that look like? How can I play in this world? Again, what I want with this shopping event, and what I want it to feel like when you come into my world, is it is something that makes it more of you. You are so excited about it. You sip champagne, you pour your wine, you go out dancing, you have some self-pleasure, like whatever it is, it feels like an extension of you, not from a space of lack. Because you are perfect, you were born worthy, nothing has changed. You're doing this because you want to become more of who you already are. You want to amplify this, you want to remember, you want to date with ease, you want to have more pleasure, you want to bring this to the real world life situations. And so I'm compartmentalizing all of these and making it a fun little thing. Like I said, these all are basically 75% off until I launch them to the public on the 28th, because only you sexy little people are in this group, and you get part of this, or you get this little thing going on right now. So, like I said, we covered, if you are just tuning in now, the Unattached. We covered Sacred Singlehood. Holy pickles, I've been talking about this for 34 minutes, and I've only covered 3 things. We're going to be talking about 9 things. I'm going to speed this up a bit. Okay, and then the dating micromind. So that is a group setting, right? So those are the 3 things. That's what's included in the summer bundle. That's our 4th thing. You can jump into the summer bundle, and you will get Becoming That Bitch, which is, if I could make everyone take this in their school life, Becoming That Bitch, and in your dating life and in sex ed, around your like that would be that program. We talked about being born worthy and nothing has changed, remembering who you were before the trauma, before the heartbreak, before the things, creating an invitation, really putting yourself out there. So beyond the apps, just getting out there and feeling comfortable and confident in doing these things and really tapping into your magnetism, and then upholding the magnetism and dismantling time pressure. So really keeping people engaged and keeping this longevity. So even if you're married or you're dating, like these things are so applicable to keep that fire alive. Okay, so those are 4. And then we're going to talk about the one-on-one offers, okay? And this is another 4. Wait. So that's 5 actually, because Becoming That Bitch. You can also buy Becoming That Bitch for $111 on its own. Again, I'm going to put the link, actually. Let me do that right now for you. Fuck the humans of this so that you can get it. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee while I do that. Can you tell my coffee's my second coffee? Ever since I've had the C word, I've been eating 2 coffees a day, which has not been fun. Okay, so let me copy this for you all. Okay, there you go. In the comments. Jump in where you feel called. Okay, and then we have the one-on-one offers. So I have a few spaces open for 3-month container, for a 6-month container, for VIP sessions, and VIP sessions with a little tasty appetizer of what it would be like to work with me one-on-one. So I have, for one-on-one, what happens is it's either 3 months or 6 months. And so we dive into your health history, what's been going on. You get bi-weekly meetings with me. You get, these are all audio. Our first meeting will be video, but then everything else is audio, just because it gives you time freedom, space freedom, things that I know we all value. So there's no more excuses of, I don't have time right now. It's like, no, here's the way I match my nervous system, and I make time for this, even if it's on the road, even if it's by the pool, even if it's when I'm out skiing. So no more excuses around that. You get Voxer access. So you get the walkie-talkie app, which I will be in Monday through Friday. Well, no, not Monday, because that's CEO day. Tuesday to Friday, and answering your questions around that. You'll get access to all the programs, my entire product suite. So even the ones that aren't launching right now, like you'll get like Maven's Metabolism, you'll get food sensitivity, like all that kind of stuff as well on top of that. And so you can either do 3 months or 6 months of this, where we go into relationships, we go into trauma healing, we go into business, we go into wealth management, we go into family relationships, we go into health and fitness and body and confidence, and how to regulate your body, your actual physical body, from a science perspective in that way, and personalizing it to you so that you can have the freedom and the space to enjoy life again. And so usually for 3 months, that's $5,555. Right now, that's $4,444. So $1,000 off. For the 6 month, usually that's $10,000. Right now, that is $7,777. Okay? 4 payment plans for this. You can either pay in full, which is more cost effective, or we can set up a payment plan. The way this works, it has to be paid off by the time we have our last session. So say you want to do this and you're like, that monthly payment, I can't do. The way that I've set this up with clients in the past as well, if that is a stretch for your nervous system, because we don't want you feeling unsafe when you're in our meetings, right? Like I've done that where I've invested in with mentors too soon, and I couldn't actually get regulated and hear what they had to say. And I remember leaving one of my sessions being like, I'm a bad student. And like, you're not a bad student. Honestly, she just wasn't. It was, again, house shopping and why I wanted to make these events. It was one of these things, if it was like time pressure and like, you need this, and from a space of lack as opposed to a space of abundance. And so what I want for you to be is safe. So if you do want to jump in, say the 3 month thing, but we need to stretch that time horizon because it needs to be paid off by your last session, we can start paying for it now, creating a monthly payment plan, and we can start a year from now, whenever that is, or in a few months, and like breaking down, okay, so like what is how does my nervous system feel within this context? How does my nervous system feel within this context? And start to play around with what that number is for you, and then equate that to, okay, so what time period would fit for me, right? Again, lead yourself to the conversation. You can reach out to me on my Instagram, through Facebook, through email, whatever feels good for you, and just to kind of stretch the time horizon on that to get you in the door. It's going to feel stretchy. Investing large amounts of money feels stretchy. I got scared shitless when it was $95. I send payments of large magnitude now within my nervous system and have well over 6 figures invested in self-development. Each time it does activate, it just, you have tools around that, and you know that it's an expansion of who you are and who you're becoming, instead of a, oh my God, I'm never going to get this money back. It's like, the more money I invest, the more I invest in me, the more money I make, the more opportunities come, the more love I have, the more healthy I am, all these kind of different things. It's just leading yourself to that. So you can, if that's something that you want to jump into, and either you can pay in full because that feels abundant as fuck. That's what I like to do. I'm like, yay, this feels fun, send it. Or if it's like, that's a stretch for my nervous system right now, we can start to put together a time period where it's like, hey, what would that look like? It just needs to be paid off before our last call, right? So if you want to start paying now, putting together a timeline around that, it can be paid off, and we can start in like 8 months from now, and just kind of playing with that, whatever it would be in your nervous system. So those are the 2 options around that, 3 months or 6 months with $1,000 off or $3,000 off. Cool. And then the last 2 things are VIP sessions. So I'm going to open up a handful of these. There's 2 different options for this. One, if you just want to have a one-off session, you have like one topic that you want to really hone in on, whether it's a breakup, whether it's intimacy with your partner, whether it's how do I break up and split my assets with my partner, whether it's how do I regulate myself, like how do I get confidence, how do I build a business around this, how do I create more intimacy in my business, how do I create more pleasure. Like, if you just have this one-off like micro thing that you want to zoom in on, and you want to hear how our coaching is, you've seen how I've done it, you want to do that, you can do a one-off session. Okay. Or if you want to do one-off session plus 7 days of integration, you can also do that, and that would be through Voxer. So it'd be one-off session, you get the recording, we send it to you, you get to rewatch it, take your notes, all that kind of stuff, and then you get Voxer integration from there. So you can jump in, hey, this is what I'm doing, what's the implemented strategy every day that we put together, the personalized plan, and then you get that accountability for that call. I believe right now, let me double check what that is. So we have just the VIP session is $222. So for just the call. And then the integration. So if you want the 7 days integration on top of the VIP session, that's $444. So you will not find that on the sheet that I just posted there. You will find that in this one. Let me find it for you. Should have had this all planned out, but you guys, again, imperfect action. It gets to be pleasurable while we wait. But how is this all feeling for your nervous system? What's getting you excited? Let me know while I find this link. Can I not find this link? Uh-oh. Dashboard. Let's see. Okay, that's not what I want. Thanks for your patience. There we go. Nope. Schedule. This is fun. This is technology for us. Okay. Here we go. And here's the link for those for VIP sessions. And so if you want to do, like I said, just a VIP session, which is a one specific question that you want a personalized strategy around what you're going through, whether that's a breakup, whether that's trauma, whether that's body dysmorphia, whether that's business growth and creating more intimacy into your business, or quantum leaps within your business. Like, we can zoom in on that one topic. Or if you want to take it one step further, we can zoom in on that topic plus add some accountability for 7 days. So that's going to be what you will find there. And then if you want to jump in to one-on-one coaching, but you don't know whether to do 3 months or 6 months, you can just book in a discovery call. That's totally complimentary, because we're going to be moving into something that is a little bit more up there. So that's what we have for today, my beautiful friends. Like I said, whatever is feeling expansive for you, lean into that. That's what the joy of this gets to be. It gets to be shopping for our favorite outfit. Who do I want to become? What do I want to wear? Who am I in this? What am I stepping into? What feels so good for me right now? That's why I wanted to do it in this way. It gets to be a party. It gets to be a celebration. It gets to be an invitation. Like, this is me inviting you to the biggest parties of my summer right now, and to extend this invitation to be on this journey with you, to become the freest, most relaxed, most joyous, most playful, most expanded version of yourself, and to call in the love stories, and to create the love stories, and to become a living sanctuary, and to shift, and not become someone new, but to remember who you were before the things that hurt you, right? The joy, the delight, the play, those are so within you, and they're still there, and they just need to be activated and remembered. So whether that's inside of Unattached, whether that's inside of Sacred Singlehood, whether that's you want the whole thing, and you want the VIPs, and you want the one-on-ones, and you want the micro-mind, like, wherever it is, trust, feel the stretch, and lead yourself to that conversation, right? It's so fun when we lead ourselves to a yes. And that's why my mentorship is like, yes, I will tell you the stretchiness that I've been through and what feels good for you, and we can walk through that on our discovery call, and we can see, like, oh my God, like, what is the best fit for me? Just like if you're at a store and you're like, I don't know, like, what should I wear? I'm going here and I don't know. And they'll guide you to it. It's not a sale in that sense. It's just picking the right option. That's what our world is. That's the relaxed woman. So I love you. Thank you for being here. And I will see you this summer inside of our bundles. Happy healings, my friends.